So ever since Disney and Kathleen Kennedy took over Lucasfilm, especially took over Star Wars, obviously that's the topic of this video, it seems like they have been trying to change the original trilogy as much as possible, while also kind of demeaning the original trilogy in order to prop up their series of Star Wars, in order to prop up stuff like the sequel trilogy and stuff like Star Wars Visions, and it seems like they're going to continue down that path after the success of Star Wars Visions, or especially the success of certain episodes, because I think that a lot of us, like Tatooine Rhapsody, I think pretty much the general consensus around that episode was that it was pretty awful and that it can't get much worse than that. But still, they're saying that Visions was a success. I think episode 1, episode 5, and episode 8, I believe it was, were pretty good. Maybe it was episode 7. I can't remember which numbers they were, but episode 5 was really, really good. I think that episode 5 was damn near perfect Star Wars. And I think that if they could continue doing stuff like that with the animated shows, with the anime style shows, I would really get behind it. But what they're doing now is not that. That's not what they're going to be doing in the future. Like I said, it seems like they want to keep making new content, but also keep dabbling in that old content, also keep bringing these old characters into the new shows and just put them down to prop up the new characters. And that's just not how you create a strong character. That's not how you create a strong character like Rey could have been if they would have done it right. But instead they decided to bring Luke Skywalker in and put Luke Skywalker down in order to prop Rey up, and that's just not how you create a well-liked character by the fan base. But what they're doing now, I think it's even worse than what they did in the sequel trilogy. Let me know in the comments once you figure out what I'm talking about, what you think about this whole thing. But here is just one tweet from this leaker guy. I'm not too well versed in who this guy is, but a lot of people trust him that I know and that I trust. They think that the hashtag show right here is what he is. He says, I serve up scoops and exclusive over at the hashtag show and sometimes other stuff. And a lot of people say that the hashtag show is the real deal. So I don't know. He says, all I can say is it's Star Wars version of What If. Now, if this happened, it could be really, really good. I already did a video on this. This isn't what this video is about. I'm just saying that this is one of the ways that they're going back and trying to change certain things. And honestly, yes, it could be very, very good if stuff happened. Like if they did an episode about what if Qui-Gon Jinn trained Anakin, that could be very, very cool. I think that's something that a lot of us want to see. But in reality, that's not what they would do. They would do, what if Qui-Gon Jinn trained Anakin and Qui-Gon Jinn was a female? Or what if Obi-Wan fought Anakin, but Anakin was a female or non-binary or something? And that's we know that they're going to do that. That's just the direction that Lucasfilm and Hollywood as a whole are really going in right now. So it's kind of inevitable that that's going to happen. But what I want to talk about today is this article right here from Giant Freaking Robot. X-Wing tweeted it out, but here is the article. It says, George Lucas's original Star Wars vision becoming an official movie. Now look, Giant Freaking Robot, not too reliable. I said it, I replied to this X-Wing tweet. He was like, how is everyone feeling about this one? I said, I'm feeling like Giant Freaking Robot is lying 99% of the time, because they are. But apparently, they're getting this report from the hashtag show, and a lot of people say that they're the real deal. Like I said, a lot of people who I trust the hashtag show. So maybe this is true. According to a new unconfirmed report from the hashtag show, Disney is looking to create an animated film trilogy by dusting off what is arguably the oldest Star Wars story. The film that would eventually become George Lucas's Star Wars was in its original draft instead titled Adventures of Starkiller Episode 1, The Star Wars. Among the stark differences between the original draft and the finished product, Luke Skywalker was instead Deke Starkiller and was already an established Jedi rather than a farm boy whining about power converters. I think that this would be pretty cool. The problem is, like I said earlier with the What If show, I think they would change certain things that would infuriate certain fans. If they really did have Deke Starkiller as the main character, they would probably make him a female. Like that's just what they do. I'm not trying to be like super cynical. I'm not trying to be super negative, but that is just what they do now. Look at the What If show for Marvel. It's the same thing. What if Chris Evans or Steve Rogers was a female? It's just the same thing over and over again. They're so predictable. You already know that this KOTOR remake is going to be awful. And I called it before Data Racer. Shout out to Data Racer, by the way. He's always on top of everything when it comes to this stuff. Go give him a follow on Twitter. This is the @ right here. But before he even tweeted this stuff out, whenever they first announced the KOTOR game, I watched the trailer. I got excited for about 5 minutes. And then I thought about it. I was like, wait, I heard about a couple of months ago that Revan was female in some sort of very deep lore. I don't know if that's canon or not. I don't know if that's true or not, but I heard that like a long time ago and it clicked in my head immediately. Oh, they're rebooting this because they're going to make Revan a female. That's just what they're going to do. 100% they're going to do this. And then this got released where Sam Maggs, who is an SJW activist that hates male Star Wars fans and constantly mocks the fan base, telling them to die mad about, she is working on the KOTOR remake. So it all just kind of lines up. We all know what's going to happen. They do it over and over again. They're trying to take that old material and bring it into new stuff. You know, they're trying to make it theirs. They're trying to make it Disney-fied, which, you know, not horrible on surface level, but when you really think about what Disney-fied means nowadays, it is pretty bad. So they're going to make this Disney-fied stuff, but at the same time, they're going to put down the old stuff to prop up their new stuff. They're going to put down the old KOTOR games. I guarantee you they will put down the old KOTOR stuff to prop up the new stuff. They do it over and over again. They've always done it ever since Kathleen Kennedy and Disney got a hold of Star Wars. They've always done this. But let's take a look at some of the Twitter reactions about this stuff. A lot of people seem to be very happy about this. I've been describing it, Star Wars Visions, as that what if for Star Wars before it even came out. That's just not true though. Star Wars Visions isn't a Star Wars what if because it's not really the same stories that we saw with different variables. Like a Star Wars what if is kind of what I picture Star Wars Theories channel to be, which is what I said in my last video about that situation. I think that it's going to be like one thing was changed, and we all know in the Star Wars universe, everything has to be so perfect. And if you change one little thing, it changes the entire timeline because every single character in the Star Wars universe, if the story is about or includes a certain character, if anything about that character changes, it changes the entire timeline. Every single character trait, everything about each character is very important. So if we change one small thing about a character, it changes the whole timeline. And something like, what if Qui-Gon Jinn trained Anakin really changes everything? You know, we don't even know what would happen in that case. We don't know who Palpatine's apprentice would be whenever he decides to execute Order 66. We don't know. Maybe Anakin, you know, realizes that Palpatine is a Sith Lord earlier and he takes him down himself. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Because if Qui-Gon Jinn was training Anakin, I'm sure the council would trust Anakin a lot more because he wouldn't be as, you know, unpredictable. He wouldn't be as angry all the time. He would be more like Qui-Gon Jinn instead of more like Obi-Wan. So he'd be much more trustworthy and they would trust him to go take down Palpatine. Who knows? Maybe the Empire would have never happened. Maybe the Jedi Order would have gone on for thousands and thousands of years. Let me know in the comments what you would think would happen if Qui-Gon Jinn trained Anakin. And also let me know what you think about this whole situation, about them possibly rebooting George Lucas's old Star Wars vision or original Star Wars vision with Deke Starkiller and stuff like that, and making it into a, you know, a Star Wars vision. It's probably not anime, but it's probably going to be animated into an animated show or maybe even a movie. I kind of like the idea. I think it could be cool, but like I said, it could be cool. They could totally ruin it at the same time. They could make Deke Starkiller a female and all that good stuff. But let me know what you guys think. What do you think is going to happen with the future of Star Wars in the comments? If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter, the link to that will be in the description as well. Thank you for watching the video. Hope to see you in the next one.